What's up, guys? I gotta do a quick intro because we got another meeting today. It's gonna be fun. Vince Desi. I'm super nervous. Don't know why. He's a really nice guy. It's not like he's gonna be like but yeah. We're gonna be interviewing Vince Desi today. I have some interesting questions for him. Yeah. So we're gonna get to it. Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
All right. So whatever this place you live in Florida, that's in the Panhandle?
Yeah. It's like,
So I didn't realize that Florida's got two time zones.
yeah. It's a very boring place where I live. It's the worst part of the Panhandle.
It's okay. It's all good. I like Florida. I don't want to live there though, between the fucking mosquitoes and the alligators.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I never been to the Panhandle, so I can't say.
Yeah, I live in a flyby town. People come here for gas and then they go onto the coast.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
So anyway, everything else is good. What is your site? I mean, like I realize we'll do the interview. I know you did one with Mike J. Where is this going to get posted?
It'll be on YouTube, and then I'll usually post like clips of it on Instagram.
Well, whatever you do, send me the link to it so I can like it.
Gotcha.
And comment on it. Okay?
All right, I will do. Thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity, by the way.
All right, no, is this good? Can you see me? It's all good?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm in my living room. I'm in my house in Mexico right now.
Me too. I'm in my bed.
Good. Cool.
Yeah. You ready to start whenever? Or?
Yeah.
All right. So my first question I have, if you never went into the video game industry, do you think you would have stuck with MIS or moved on to something else?
Well, MIS stood for Management Information Systems,
Yeah.
which then became IT, Information Technology. I don't know what the fuck they call it now, but that was way back then. But my roots have always been in entertainment, even as a teenager, writing, music, art. So I doubt I would have stayed with it in the strict sense. Before I was involved with MIS, as a headhunter, I was in
Right.
the disco business. I was a promoter for nightclubs, and I worked with artists and musicians, things like that. So the answer would be, I highly doubt that I would have stayed in that strict sense. That's why when Atari came to New York, it was such a natural golden opportunity to just, wow, because by that, at that time, I had my nephews, we had the 2600, we're playing all kinds of old classic Atari games.
Right.
So it was just made perfect sense.
That's good. Yeah. I took a coding class when I was in middle school. I never followed up with it though. So I know or one of the reasons the game was called Postal was because of the incidents that were going around with the ticked off postal workers. If that wasn't happening at the time, what do you think it would have been called instead?
Well, I told you, you sent me the questions, so I read them last week.
Right.
I always try to be prepared. And I went back to some of my old notes, literally from like 30 years ago. And there were several other names than Running with Scissors. And the one I liked the most was called Under the Influence. So that was a possible name, But Running with Scissors kind of really hit home because I'm from the 50s. And when we grew up, it was a very common saying for our mothers to say, don't run with scissors.
Right.
Be careful, don't run with scissors. So it basically, by calling ourselves Running with Scissors, it basically meant we are everything you're not supposed to be.
I like that a lot. Yeah, you guys, I hold the studio in very high regards. Mike was talking about the piracy industry in Russia. did you know much about piracy like early on? And if so, did you have any issues with it in America?
Well, the piracy in Russia is quite unique, and you have to understand several reasons. One is the economy. You know, people in Russia, a game sells for $2. Here, it could be $20.
Right.
So, you know, but you have to also remember people there were making 2,500. If you made $5,000 a year, you were making a lot of money. Okay. So the motivation in Russia and other countries to basically hack a game, not pay for it, I think is much more rooted in the local society, you know, the economics of the society. I don't see it as stealing, you know, to deny us, you know, the so-called, you know, revenue. That's my opinion. In my general sense towards hacking or stealing is, look, we're in the entertainment business. People do this. Like, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Look, you look at the world today. Every country, every government is corrupt. There will always be corruption. There, just like there was prostitution, you know, probably, you know, whatever at the beginning of man. Some things will never go away. I don't really think they'll ever go away.
Yeah, that's fair.
I do not like when somebody purposely steals for the benefit, for their selfish benefit of then reselling. You know, that I think is, you know, pretty evil.
Yeah.
Also, give you an example. We've had many occasions over the years where people would write me and say, "Hey man, you know, I just want you to know I've been playing the game. I hacked it, you know, blah, blah, blah." We've had people literally send money, you know, with a handwritten letter saying, "Hey, sorry, but you know, here's $10. You know, I'm older now. I have a job, and I want to support people." So there's different degrees of hacking.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm okay with it when it kind of fits under the Robin Hood umbrella.
Yeah.
But I'm not okay with it when people basically steal for the purpose of personal profit and reselling. To me, it's fraud. You know, it's just like, look at the world today. Fucking people, get a job. You know, don't go on welfare. Get a job.
It's a very logical stance.
I mean, that's how I think of it.
No, I mean, I agree completely. Would you, or have you ever considered, like, taking another shot at Postal 3, like, within the studio rather than a business partner?
Within the studio, it's been something we talked about, but we made the commitment to develop Flesh and Wire over 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And, you know, it'll be coming out in 2027. So really, ever since we made that commitment, because, you know, we're a small independent studio, we're truly self-funded. We don't have people, you know, paying our way. So it's really not been part of any active discussion for quite some time. And quite frankly, looking forward, because you do know how we support all our games.
Yeah.
You know, I don't see us doubling, tripling the size of the company because it gets out of control. It's very different to manage. And I look forward to supporting Flesh and Wire in the next, you know, several years. So that's more important to me than revisiting Postal. And, you know, the fans, the community, there's been a lot of, a lot of community support for Postal 3. People have gone in and made it playable. And so it's just interesting. I mean, you know, it was an unfortunate experience, but that's what happens. You know, again, economic pressure.
Yeah. I noticed it has its own little following, which is kind of fun to see.
Yeah. It's kind of, you know, its own history has gone from, you know, in the sewer to you've got these fanatics that love it. Then you got people in Russia. Then you know, but my whole approach towards everything with Postal is to basically just put it out there and be supportive.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't, I think I think it's very important to realize how strong the postal community is really part of the company. You know, and that's how I view it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, which of the Postal games is your favorite?
I've not had a favorite. I mean, look, 30 years ago when we were creating the company and working on the original, I had no idea if you would ask me how long, where would I be in 5 years or 10 years? You think I would be able to tell you in 30, it's 30 fucking years? You weren't even born. How old are you?
18.
Yeah, you weren't even fucking born. And here we are. But, well, you're not a parent yet, not that I know of anyway.
No.
But I think, you know, God willing, the day will come, you'll have your own kids. Postal there's a postal family now, you understand? And I really, even including Postal 3, I could not, you know, I mean, if I had to, I'd say, look, the original Postal is like your first son, your first child, because without your first child, you can't have a second child.
Yeah.
But it's not to say my reasons for saying Postal 1, it's not because I consider it the best game or better than the others, as much as it's because it is the original creation.
Yeah. That's fair. So, I mean, we wouldn't have any of the other games without it.
Yeah, no, none of it. I mean, you know, some people consider Postal 1, oh, it was dark and satanic and, you know, psychotic. I considered it a fun game.
Yeah.
I never considered it dark. I wrote most of, you know, all the dialogue and, you know, the cutscenes and all of that. You know, the parade, crazy stuff like that. To me, it was funny.
Yeah, I don't think some people don't
so,
recognize the satirical aspect of it.
Yeah, you know, and then when we got to Postal 2, we were kind of, you know, as we were designing it, it was kind of all over the map. And then when we were able to get Gary Coleman to agree to come on board, you know, once Gary became part of the game, it just was completely retarded after that. You know what I mean? It's like, what are we doing? Now we've got the Postal dude and we got Gary Coleman. How are we going to make any sense out of this? But yeah. Again, I've always felt in game design, you got to remember, video games are games. Games are something you play. Why do you play? You play to have fun.
Right.
Okay. So when we're designing, my basis for creativity has always been, will this be fun? You know, will this play mechanic be fun? Am I having fun? Are other people I'm playing with, are they having fun? Because if it's not fun, then what am I doing? Why is it in the game?
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of how I think. Then when you're able to add on top of that something really cool, then that's kind of like the icing on the cake. I hate that expression, but you know, is then you're having fun and it's funny. So it's that real dynamic formula of fun plus funny is amazing, and that's not something that you really can plan for. I think kind of like, you know, somehow some creative magic occurs and you just take it and run with it. That's my feeling.
Well said for sure. Do you is there anything you can tell us about the Postal comic book that hasn't been said yet?
I'm ecstatic about the comic book. Kevin Rodatelli, who it's his company, he's been a Postal fan for years, and he first approached us actually several years ago, and you know, he was with a different company at the time. It didn't go anywhere. But I don't know, less than a year ago, he got back in touch. You know, there's nothing better than when you're able to work with somebody who's passionate okay? Because you can't put a price on passion, okay?
Right.
When people believe in something, when people want to do something, that's where you're going to get the best. I will tell you, they're doing a great job. There'll be an official Kickstarter will be announced shortly, like very soon, and the Kickstarter will actually begin in early August. It's already been #1 on Kickstarter wish list. They've got great talent working on it. The Postal Dude will be a new, unique Postal Dude for the comic.
Nice.
So just the way you've seen, there's a Postal 1 dude, a Postal 2, 3, 4,
Right.
brain damage dude. There will be a Postal Dude comic dude, and I'm just really happy about it.
That's awesome. I didn't know it was going to be a different dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of like comics like that.
It's great. I mean, they're doing such a great job. I mean, I've seen a lot of the covers, the collectibles, the panels. It's just fun. I mean, again, see, Kevin and his team, they're fans, so they get it.
Yeah.
It's not like I have to explain to them who or what is the Postal Dude like.
Right.
Yeah, it's so pretty wild. Pretty wild.
I'll definitely be donating to Kickstarter once it's out.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
Do you personally think any of the Postal games have like seriously contributed to real violence?
Seriously contributed? No. There used to be, when you take Psychology 101, the very first class would begin with hereditary first environment, right? So you're born with the genes of your parents, your family lineage, but then there's the environment.
Right.
Okay. So we are all subject to the influence of our environment. I mean, look at your generation. God only, I mean, look at the fuck's going on in the country, the world. We're in, it's in shit shape. I tend to be somewhat political or outspoken. Yeah, I don't have a problem. Listen, who you want to sleep with is your business. Who you want to pray to is your business. But when you want to fucking chop off my head, that's when I got a problem with you. Okay.
Right.
And that's where I take it. So in terms of the influence of games for violence, I think it's mostly bullshit, because, they've been trying to blame, first of all, they blamed the rock and roll, they blamed comics, they blamed movies, there's always been let's blame whatever. And video games / the internet now has been the newest. Hey, get in here. You want to get in here? Look at this. This is Matilda. This is Matilda. Yeah. The influence, I used to have a saying, fucked up people do fucked up things. Okay. Now, if games had a direct, significant influence, you've got half the globe, 4 billion people playing video games when you include mobile.
Yeah.
If there was a direct, significant influence, the numbers would be dramatically higher. So my answer to it would really be, it's terribly overrated. I think it's a big cop-out. But that's, at the same time, we should not ignore the individual responsibility and accountability. If you do something fucked up, you pay the price.
Yeah, it's always upset me to hear people say that video games, cause violence. Because, yeah, I mean, like you said, it's always something that they're going to blame it on, no matter what. But, this one's kind of way off topic, but, I don't know if you're a big fan of South Park. It's been around a while. But, in one of the more recent episodes, it's widely recognized as a Postal reference, but, like, maybe not, probably is though. One of the characters says, "Hello, sir. My name is Red. Would you like to sign my petition?"
Hello, sir. My name is Red, and I go to South Park Elementary. Would you like to sign my petition?
I was just wondering if you knew about that.
Yeah, no, I didn't know about. I am a South Park fan from years ago, just like The Simpsons. Great. I just love that type of entertainment. But I was unaware of that specific episode. But every now and then I hear, there's been a variety of folks who have, Joe Rogan on his podcast talks about Postal.
Yeah.
Every now and then somebody makes a comment about, Postal this, Postal that, and I'm kind of like, wow, okay.
It's really cool that it's had such a big presence for so long. I mean, not necessarily being talked about all the time, but just pops up periodically.
Yeah. Well, that's pop culture,
Yeah.
living and reliving, and it's just, again, I think it's fair to say that at this point, going on 30 years, that Running with Scissors as a company and Postal as a entertainment product has truly become part of the fabric. And we're multi-generational. You're 18.
Yeah.
Okay. We have people that are 60 years old that are playing with with you. You see, so we're already on 3 generations.
Right. You seem like a very welcoming, kind person. Do you think that's benefited the studio, and if so, to what extent?
Well, the easy answer is yes, but I'll go back to in the beginning, back in 96, 97, when we announced, the internet was very new. Okay. There was no Facebook, no X, no Instagram, nothing like that. People generally used email. Okay.
Right.
And I would get email. I'd get phone calls. I'd get handwritten mail. I literally, to this day, have answered every single inquiry, no matter what shape or form it was, no matter whether it came from the United States, England, Europe, Russia, India, foreign fucking country, you name it. It's been thousands and thousands. So why? Well, pretty much simply because the way I am, how I was raised. I mean, how do you not say thank you? I'm the kind of guy, I'll still open the door. I'll still bring flowers. If I go to your house, I'll bring a loaf of bread. Of course I say thank you. So when people write, or you wrote originally, and you were, with Mike J, people write me already this morning. I get up and I spend the first 2 hours usually just doing business and then checking, communication. Then I'll get on social media. Every day people write me in some form, whether it's email or whatever social media post it is, or they write me directly. It's an honor to answer them. Sometimes it takes me a couple days, because some days I'll open up, I'll get online, and I just can't do it. You know what I mean? There's just too many to respond to.
1,527,503 prayer requests. I better manifest some coffee.
But that's okay. So yeah, and clearly, the best example I can give you is, over the years, I've received quite often a message that goes along this line. Hey, I've written to a bunch of developers. I've written to 100 developers. You're the only one that's ever written back to me. Thank you so much. Can't believe you replied. Never. Are you the real Vince Desi? I never thought, this would even get to any, So yeah, the answer is thank you.
I really appreciate that. Is it accurate to say that the relationship between you and Mike is almost that of a father and son?
Well, I wouldn't go so far as a father and son, because when he was even younger and we'd be on trips, we'd be banging chicks together, And I don't think I'd do that with my actual sons. All right. So I'm friends with his dad. I mean, his dad's my age. It's funny. His dad and I are the same age, and he's got great folks. But I've always, when I first met him, I always seen him much more as a junior, younger generation version of myself, because he was outspoken, just tells you, he's very direct.
Yeah.
And that's really how I am. So when we first met, it was like an instant, mind melding kind of thing. It worked.
Yeah.
But if I had to, I like the idea of partners, or he's more like a kid brother to me.
Okay. That seems more fitting. I personally think that Running with Scissors, the best studio in terms of customer service and creativity. Would you agree with that, or?
Well, I don't like using the word best. I don't like best for anything. I think sometimes you go to a restaurant, you have a great meal. It doesn't mean it's the fucking best steak you ever had. And I love Italian food, and I love to cook, but it doesn't mean. So I'm big on not using the word best. Would I say that we do a better job than most developers? Absolutely. I mean, I know people don't even fucking answer. How could you not answer? So in that regard, I think we do a much better job than most developers in providing communication, support, but also support for our games. We support games that are 25 years old, and we come out with a free update. You know what I'm saying? Unheard of. But we have a strong community, and as long as the community supports us, we support the community.
It's nice to see, because it's really rare to have a studio like that really, cares about the fan base.
It's natural.
Yeah. Do you think the studio would ever make a game like completely separate from the Postal series?
I think it's possible. Flesh and Wire, when we started it, well, originally Flesh and Wire goes back 25 years ago, but the original concept for Flesh and Wire got flushed out. It didn't make any sense anymore. When we decided to do it this time, I told the team that, I love the idea of having a lead character be a young girl. I love the fact that we're going to infuse what some people would consider satanic, surreal, a certain sense of surrealism. It kind of goes way beyond the reality base that the Postal series has.
Yeah.
That said, I also wanted to make sure that the storyline could be somehow reflected from the Postal history. And so Flesh and Wire, and the lead character is Angel. Who is Angel? Is Angel Postal Dude's legitimate daughter? Is she Postal Dude's bastard? Is she Postal Dude's fantasy? Is Postal Dude her fantasy? Yeah. I don't know. I could tell you what I think, but I'm just saying. So, to me, Flesh and Wire is 99% new, but it has that Postal connection.
Right. I was reading a lot into the original concept for Flesh and Wire. It seemed really interesting. It contrasts from the new Flesh and Wire quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, it was different time. A lot of. Just like I don't like using the word best, I think when people do comparisons, they're limiting their perspective, because I try not to be so narrow in my approach to things. Yeah. I like to keep things as open as possible.
That's fair. Well, I mean, that's all I have for today.
Cool. Well, listen, just send me the links when it's done, whatever, wherever you post it, just send me the links to every post. That way I could follow, comment, etc.
Gotcha. I definitely will. Yeah, I'll probably edit it today, and then it'll be up tonight or tomorrow morning.
Great. Send it me tomorrow, whatever it is.
Gotcha.
Remember, take your time. Don't rush. That's what I always tell people. Get it right rather than rush it out the door.
Right. Thank you. I appreciate the advice, and I really appreciate you lending me your time as well.
Well, I'm glad we were able to make it happen.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Sean, the best to you, your family. Enjoy the summer. Nice and easy.
Thank you. You too. Have a nice day.
Right. Take care.
You too.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. I don't know if I should play a game. I mean, that was like, it's a 30-minute video already. I'll play a little bit of Postal. A little. Oh, this apart? It's glowing. Yes.
Next.
Hell yeah. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I wish you could take these medkits for use later. Maybe they'll add that in the Redux. Well, actually, I don't know if Paradise Lost is going to be in the Redux. I hope it is, but I don't know. They might just be revamping the base game. I know Apocalypse Weekend will be in it, because I asked Mike and he said so.
Say, it looks like former child star Zach Ward has opened his Winter Wonderland compound to the public. Maybe you should stop by and see if he's willing to part with those child star royalties.
Okay, we gotta find the Winter Wonderland. Where are you, Zach? It's not a, Oh yeah, no. It doesn't like say it on the map, I don't think. I think I just have to find
Want
it.
to chip in to support this conveniently indeterminate cause?
I'm sorry.
You gotta be fucking kidding. Look, maybe I'll stop bothering you if you just cough up some cash already.
I'm down.
I'm down.
That's barely anything at all. How could I possibly collect that much money? Would you like to make a generous donation to this dubious charity?
I don't think so.
Shit. Donate to my charity, damn it.
No thanks.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
Donate next
Hi
time.
there. Want to chip in to support this conveniently indeterminate cause?
Please.
I'm down.
Yes.
Shit. Still next to nothing. This is gonna take forever.
Zach, hello?
Who goes there? Who dares disturb the great Zach Ward?
Hey, former child star. How about sharing some of those child star royalties for this clearly on-the-level charity I've got here?
Listen, jerk. You better watch your tongue, for you're standing in the presence of greatness. I am Zach Ward, leader of the Farsi clan here at my wondrous Winter Wonderland compound and world-renowned actor extraordinaire.
Yeah, I can't say I'm familiar with your body of work. Now, how about that donation?
What? What, are you kidding me? How can you not know who I am? What, have you never seen Titus? Transformers, Resident Evil Apocalypse, Blood Rain 2, Alone in the Dark 2, Dark House. Come on, Almost Famous? Really? I was a Mike and Molly dude. Liv and Maddie, you watch the Disney? No?
He's on the Liv and Maddie?
Devil's Cartel? Great.
And Army of Two?
That was a really good video game.
I fucking loved Army of Two Devil's Cartel. Are you kidding me?
Dick.
That was like my favorite fucking game when I was a kid. Or one of them, anyways.
Beloved and
He was in that?
American classic, A Christmas Story. It comes out every year.
Who
for
was
24
he?
Hours, dude. Come on, there's a marathon.
Never heard of it. Say, what's up with those yellow eyes? You high on something?
Oh,
He was alpha? What? No. Oh shit. Stop. I'm trying to look at your IMDb history. Dude, I fucking loved that game whenever I was little. I still love that game. I haven't played it in fucking forever, but I can't believe that. That's fucking crazy. No!
come, kid. You better come.
Out. Oh, my nads.
Thanks, fat jerk.
Lean spotting out. And done.
There we go. I stole Zach Ward's money.
I feel better already.
Hey, uncle.
Eat it, shotgun. What is this? Oh shit.
I definitely need more of that.
Well, I've got a present for you.
Bye, Zach. Thanks for the money. Bitch. Imagine he like chases me all through the city. Like forces me to fight him. What's in here?
Yes.
Gingers are now a threat. Nice. Okay. I am gonna fucking leave it off there. I am tired. This is already a pretty long video too. So, yeah. I will probably play more later. I'm still working on Black Ops Part 2, guys. I know it's been a month, almost 2 months, so I'm sorry. It's just, yeah, I don't know. It's been hard finding the motivation, but I will get it done, I promise. Two more weeks at most, I'll get it. I'll have it put out. Hopefully we'll have this out the same day I'm recording it, but we'll see. But yeah, that's all for today, guys. Really hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one.